Kay,
Good
lovely to
morning,
meet you,
Ben.
Kay. Good morning, Tamsin. How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. A little bit tired, honestly, because it's summer. I don't sleep too well when it's too hot, so I'm a little bit tired. But not nothing too major, just a little bit.
Just
But
tired.
I'm happy to be here. We're just talking about the football.
We
Hello,
did.
everyone. Yeah. Um,
So Kay goes to football. Kay, your football team that you're in is an over 40s, is it?
it's over 40s, it's walking football. So it reduces the injuries, but it's you have to walk as fast as you can to walk without running. Um, so it's not just ambling along.
Is it against the rules then if you're caught running?
Yeah. You can't, people do run, and if they run, I tend to run, but um
What do you mean people run? If you're not allowed to run, why are they
well
running?
they do get like the whistle blows, but sometimes they get away with it.
Is it a
Uh,
giant football? How's big
No,
football? It's just
no,
a regular
it's
size
normal,
football, isn't it?
normal football. Yeah,
I had
yeah.
visions of it being a bit like it's a
I,
knockout, with I don't know, that's what I
no,
had visions of that.
no, it's like we do a five or six aside or something usually, and we're just like we don't do it seriously, but we're in this tournament on Saturday, so that'd be a bit of an experience. We just do it for a laugh, really, but.
yeah.
Tournament, where are the people coming from? How far afield is
Different football teams, Billericay, Basildon, like Southend. There's a couple of teams in Southend um, that
over
play
40s, women over 40.
in over 40s and Shoebury School, Caulfield Road at 7 o'clock on a Monday. Just rock up and then you pay as you go. It's £7 a session. Um,
Amazing. You
yeah.
see,
Then you
we
were saying, Ben, you've got a daughter that likes football.
that's right. Yes, yes. She's been playing for a year now, and she's really enjoying, and she loves the team, and so learning new skills. So yeah, so every
Playful.
training twice a week, and then playing on a Sunday. So yeah,
Twice a week. And what part does she play?
she plays as a defender. So yeah,
Defender.
it's
Oh,
just
that's
what
really the
happened
unsung
was.
heroes, isn't it? The unsung heroes, the defence.
Ben, what team does she play for?
She plays for our local team here in Northern Ireland. So
Oh, in Northern Ireland. Okay.
yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my
Maybe
granddaughter
one,
plays as well.
maybe one day she'll be famous. You never know.
You never know.
Oh,
No.
do you? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So does this mean you've been following the World Cup?
Yeah, I have. Yes, it's been good because even just even 11 o'clock, I'm thinking, oh, should I just stay awake and watch or go to bed? But actually, I stayed quite a lot and watched football, and I enjoyed it. It was good. And England did very well, I think.
Oh, I think it's
Yeah,
such a shame
I'm
for
glad for
England. They
Spain to
seem,
win
yeah.
too.
I
Yeah,
think Spain deserved to win.
yeah.
Spain did deserve to win, but yeah, it's a bit disappointing that England didn't play better.
They should beat Argentina. Yeah,
They should have beat Argentina, really. Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
don't we think this was something to do with the ref?
No,
No, you think it was all
they
fair?
didn't play
You think they
good.
lost fairly?
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Argentina were quite physical and they were quite argy-bargy, really.
Argy bargy.
But
Yeah.
we could have been as physical as them, and yeah.
No, we couldn't. And it's a wrestling match on the field. It's not what we're watching. No.
True, true.
Okay, so what we're here to talk about today, the anxiety.
Anxiety, yeah.
Yeah, where should we start? Ben, do you want to start us off,
Yes, yes.
please?
Um, so uh, last time we spoke about addiction and recovery, and today I thought it's better just to have a discussion around anxiety. I'm sure both of you have clients that come and see you and suffering from anxiety, and I think the big number of my clients have suffered from anxiety or working in addiction field. Really, they say that I do drink because of my anxiety, or I have to have, a couple of drinks to go out to meet some other people because of my anxiety, or I have to drink because it helps me sleep, or stuff like that. So really, I thought, let's just do something. Not too heavy, but where three of us can discuss around anxiety.
Definitely, thank you. Yeah, because that often as well, that's the cycle, isn't it? People drink to soothe the anxiety, but then the drinking causes the anxiety.
Mm.
I,
Yeah,
I'm not sure about which comes first. I think, yeah, I don't know, but it's a fear-based illness, isn't it? Um, Alcoholism, addiction. It's
absolutely.
a fear-based illness. I think it is. Comes from the amygdala. Because when you said about anxiety, I'm like, oh, the amygdala. And then there's that little reward system that goes on in the amygdala, it rewards you for well, it's supposed to reward you for sex and food. And the idea is to keep humanity going. And so the addiction hijacks that reward system and and yeah, rinses the brain of dopamine or that feel good factor. But the fear is from it is like the anxiety from the addiction. But does it make you more anxious if you're drinking or less? Like in the moment, if you just had a bottle of whiskey, you're probably
Yeah,
less
yes,
anxious.
absolutely less. But then afterwards, and in the hangover stage, your anxiety is much worse
Mm. Yes,
Mm. Yeah,
because the
yeah,
hangover stage, not because of the anxiety you had before the drinking. I honestly believe that the drinking makes the anxiety worse.
definitely. But it feels like a solution, I think.
It is a temporary solution.
A
yes,
temporary, well,
Mm.
it's not, it's very unhealthy.
Yeah, no, it's
yeah,
not a good solution, but that's why people do it because they're trying to solve the problem of anxiety.
Yes, yeah, that's part of the reason, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, there are a lot of more reasons, but we're focusing on the anxiety.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
thinking about that's why if someone was suffering from anxiety, they would be thinking, I need to drink or I need to use drugs because I want to feel better, even though it's not feel better, it's just feel different.
Like
mm,
like Ben was saying, because I feel anxious or depressed or I can't sleep. There's lots of reasons
of
for
course,
drinking.
of
Oh yeah,
course.
of course, yeah. Yeah. Why else would you want to drink? Hey.
I kind of feel like it's just to fill that void, fill the void, because
Mm.
it feels quite empty, I think.
And so the alcohol would just detract from the void or distract from the void or
Yeah,
create something different going on other than focusing on the void. It would just feel different.
feel different. Yeah, feel different. Stop feeling at all. I think it
That's right.
anesthetizes the feelings. Yeah.
Yeah. So the anxiety. So when we're talking about anxiety, we're talking about both anxiety of mental activity and thought processes that are sort of out of control and worrying about future events, and
That's
also
right.
an anxiety that can flood your body that comes out in a physiological tenseness and, all of the symptoms that you get from anxiety. It's both, isn't it?
Mm. True. Yeah, but sometimes, we feel anxious because, if you're going for a job interview, or, if you have those butterflies before the interview and then you do the interview and that just goes away. And also you're going to a new place or meeting a new person and thinking, ooh, what do they think about me? How I'm going to present myself, how I'm going to do. So there could be some, human um, emotion really that we'll all feel at times, and not all anxiety could be bad. It could be just very brief or temporary, and then but I think when anxiety it takes becomes unhealthy, then that's the alarm bells kick in, where we have to do something about it. And sometimes, for example, even moving house where, you need the whole village to help you move house, and everybody's anxious, or having that anxiety feeling where, how I'm going to move, how I'm going to take my stuff, how I'm going to, and then by the time everything and you go and move and settle in, and that goes, and thinking, wow, why was I even worried about?
That is
Um,
the thing, isn't it? Looking at what it is you're worried about. And often it's the what if this happens? What if that happens? What if, and it's
yeah,
the unknown. And a lot of
the
people get
unknown.
anxious about the fear of the unknown, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
I'd like to identify that what if phrase. I think I do. In this earlier on, well, in February, I was stuck in Goa I was stuck there because of the war. And so I got to Mumbai airport and all the planes were cancelled because it was, yeah, the sky was shut. So I was talking to a couple of ladies. One of the ladies were she was really anxious. And then I was buying into it. She was like, oh, I don't think we're going to get on a flight. And what if we don't get, and what if they give us a flight and then it doesn't go like on the day that they said it's supposed to go? And what if this and what if that? And it was making me anxious. I was looking at flights, trying to buy a different flight to the one that they'd already given me a flight in 9 days' time. Um, and so, and then I was like, oh, hold on a minute. She keeps saying, what if this and what if that? And then I fell in I was like, oh God, she's just really anxious, isn't she? And I'm just buying into it as well. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm going to go back to Goa for 9 days and I'll come back. And so, yeah, then I could relax. I recognize that what if. So it's really helpful, I think.
Hmm.
To be aware that what if is something that may or may not happen in the future and you're worrying about it as if it's happening now.
Yeah, yeah. And she caught me and I was going with her as well.
It's contagious. I think anxiety, you can definitely feel it, can't you, when someone else is anxious and you're next to them.
How do you feel if you're meeting a client for the first time? When the client is coming to your office, knocking on the door, is you don't know how they look like, they don't know, they maybe just phone, spoke on the phone. How do you feel?
Yeah, a little bit of heightened awareness of tension, isn't it? It's little bit of tension in the body, a little bit more sort of alert, a little bit of, oh, am
Yeah,
I holding my
yeah,
breath here? What's happening? Yeah.
yeah. It's something new, you're meeting a new person, for first time, and many times clients feel really nervous, excuse me, and they're coming in and say, "Oh, I feel really anxious about this." And I was like, "Oh, it's okay. It's fine. I feel the same, coming in, and actually made them feel very welcome, and it just goes. It just 2 seconds and then it just goes.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Not
that, isn't it? It's sorry, interrupt you, Ben. It's that idea of anxiety that hangs around, anxiety that seems to never go, anxiety that people wake up with. When people wake up with a feeling of dread and anxiety,
Yes.
that's harder to deal
Difference,
with.
that's difference.
Mm.
Of course, of course. I was doing the CBT last year, and after so many years studying, and then going back to college again and doing the CBT, and with that, who I'm going to be in the class with, who do I know? And it's like, oh, why am I doing this really after those years? But actually, the minute you go in, it's just like, oh, you settle in very quickly, and I met somebody that we did the placement together years ago, and I said, "Oh, it's really lovely to see the person." And then chatted to another person, and I went. But
Wonderful.
so sometimes people with going to a new training program or course or college or university, of course, they will have some sort of anxiety.
And
Uh,
it's completely natural. And it's recognizing where some of that is low, confidence in yourself, low self-esteem, but doubting your own abilities, comparing yourself to other people. Who's going to be there? Am I going to be the least qualified one there? Am I qualified enough? Am I even qualified enough to be here? What this bit that I'm doing? All those thoughts that might run through your mind, recognizing where they're coming from.
Well, for example, the people that I work with, when dealing with unemployment or benefits, they find very, very, very difficult, especially if you're using drugs or alcohol, and perhaps, you know, they have to prioritize maybe their money towards the substance, then and then maybe they don't get paid the same day or they're delayed or and stuff like that. I find it very, very difficult, and then the anxiety increases, and they're desperate to find that substance of choice. I remember, it's okay to self-disclose, just very briefly, not details. And I think as long as it's beneficial for the client, we both three of us agree, that it's sometimes it helps to identify with the client. I was made redundant. So imagine COVID time started in March, then by June, I lost the job that I loved, and I was like, oh, what am I to do? We're still nearly locked down, really, and nobody was, employing anybody. And months went by. I'm thinking, oh, this is getting harder. I'm worried about the finances. And so the way how it helped me was by, obviously, I was aware of my anxiety. Um, I uh, I went to therapy for weeks, and I thought that was really, really beneficial for me. Where I thought, you know what, it's better to go and focus on myself. And another thing that it really helped me while at that time I volunteered quite a lot. So I did a lot of Zoom calls and did a lot of recovery programs, and really, whoever wanted me, I was available to do that. And then the third thing that really helped me was walking and just focusing on myself. So we have the Causeway Coast over here. It's a beautiful scenery, and just walked and walked and walked, taking pictures, focus on myself. So these were the three things that helped me, during that time. So from June to till October,
Really good.
and
It's
then
walking. I think walking as well in nature. Finding time to spend near trees or the beach or the seafront or a field or grass is something very calming and soothing. There's chemicals come off trees apparently that actually calm us down. So
Yeah, I was thinking that walking in nature, when you were saying walking and it's a lovely scenic walk that you do, um, walking in nature really does calm you down. I'm not sure. Maybe I think most people it does, but I feel like it's kind of spiritual. And then I wonder if you're not spiritual, does it still? Um, I wonder. But
hmm,
walking in nature, walking is really good. But and financial anxiety is quite difficult. I think financial anxiety is very difficult to deal with. I've got a kind of solution to that because I
go
always
on.
like to share the solution.
Hmm.
So work more, spend less. That's my solution to financial anxiety.
oh, I like that.
Work more and spend less. Yeah, my solution, if it is, you can call it that, is to take control of it and really have a really good spreadsheet and think this is the money coming
Oh,
in, this is the money that's coming out. Really, be aware where money's going, check all your subscriptions. If you need some help, go and find a financial advisor at the Citizens Advice Bureau. There will be someone there that can help you through it if you
That's
feel
right.
out of control. Because some people just don't want to face the fear. They're so scared of of the whole thing. Some people don't like looking at their tax returns, do they? Some people don't like looking at their. Some people just don't face their responsibilities around money.
I am like that. I don't like making a budget. What's it called? Like a budget.
Spreadsheet.
Not as
Mm.
I can't think of even doing a spreadsheet for financial stuff. I that would be too much. I'm like, when you said that, I was like, no, I
Yeah,
can't. I
there's an
couldn't
app
do that.
now. There's an apps out there
Oh,
you can
don't
use that
please
are
don't say
easy.
that.
It's like the modern way, isn't it? When people have struggled with their finances now, they just get an app out and they go, okay, this money I've got going. A bit like calorie counting or anything, you can just do it on an app, can't you?
I mean, I could just make probably a list of what I spend and what I have what's coming in. I could do that but I could like not an app or a spreadsheet. You're very, very structured, aren't you? And
I
I'm
like an
just not
app. I
that
like an
way.
app. It's colourful. It pings. It rewards me when I've got money going in. It's a dopamine hit, isn't it? You've got Monzo. I like particularly. It's all colourful and it tells me exactly how much I've got. It's great.
Yeah, yeah.
And it helps me to feel. I know what's going on.
Good. Yeah.
Rather than, oh God, I can't look at my bank account because I'm scared of what I'm going to see.
Okay, if we have an issue, we know where to go now.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah.
Help.
Help us in.
Unfortunately, I'm that person that people come to me for the cash. Yeah.
But mine is very unstructured compared to yours. Like work more, spend less. It's just like, yeah. And Tamsin's got all the belts and braces.
But it works, right?
Yeah, no,
Whatever works
it's
for you,
good.
if
Yeah,
it
I'm sure it
works.
does work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's this guy on YouTube. He gets people sits them down. He's a money expert, and he looks at their finances and he says what's coming in, what's going out. And a lot of them they just haven't got a clue what's coming in and going out. They haven't got a clue.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, so what physical symptoms do you think anxiety causes? What do you think?
Wow, it's the heart racing, the sweating, the pink
Yeah,
face, the hands shaking, the
absolutely.
tension, the needing to use the toilet, the scared to eat the night before because you're going to need the toilet in the morning before you go. All sorts. So that means that affects you the day before. It's not just on the day that you know you're going to be anxious. There's the worrying about it leading up to the anxious event.
Yeah.
Irritability, sniffing at people, just being out of character, not eating.
So, Ben, how would you work with that if someone comes to you with those symptoms?
If the person comes like that, I think it's really important to so they feel welcome. They feel, maybe offer them a coffee or offer a glass of water and just just try and just say it's okay. Made them feel comfortable, for a few minutes, not just straight into the session, and just say, look, it's fine. This is, just take your time, and then let them come around themselves, and then maybe just make them laugh at something or tell them a silly joke or something, or I don't know. And not all the time, but sometimes, or even just to talk about something totally out of the session, and then they feel, um, especially if they're going first time in therapy, they have all these symptoms, and they've struggled maybe for a very long time, or maybe isolated for 7 days a week, and not seeing anybody, and and for them to make that first step to come and see us, I think they're very brave, and I really say, that's that's incredible. You made that first step to come and see us.
And that helps them to feel accepted and a little bit of
Yeah,
recognition, validation for what they've done to get there.
absolutely.
Sounds good to me. I feel very comfortable with that. I think someone just being relaxed and taking focus away from the anxiety.
Yeah.
Even, if they feel they're rushing or they were late or they didn't know where to park, and then imagine they have to go to that meeting. I remember years ago I had to go for a job interview and I couldn't find the place for and I probably drove that two, three times, four times, close to that building, and I couldn't even see it because probably I was too nervous or thinking about the interview and missed it. And I was like 10 minutes late. How embarrassing. And I did apologize, of course, and uh, but the way how it made me feel, I felt terrible, going late. I should have been 10 minutes early, not 10 minutes late. But I
Did you
got the job by the
job?
end,
Oh,
it was
you got
Well
the
good.
job.
done. Well
Okay.
done.
Oh,
Do you think there's an element of shame about anxiety? Like if you were late and then you turned up, would you feel an added layer of I feel terrible because I'm late because I'm anxious?
Um, perhaps, yeah. Obviously, maybe we feel we let ourselves down, and I should have known better. I should have done this, and um,
So then there's a
yeah.
layer of berating yourself. I should have been earlier. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. And then you're doing that in your head as you're walking into an
Hmm.
interview.
critical parent, isn't it? Should
Yeah,
have done
yeah,
this, should have done that, mustn't do that, must do this.
yeah,
You're in critical parent then, so it's
yeah.
not a good place to be, probably.
I think is better even when we're feeling like that. it's to confront rather than avoid anxiety-provoking situations instead of even going to new places or meeting new people or starting a new hobby or starting, going to study or course or whatever. I think we should face that fear and go. And then I think in many situations personally has helped me where um, I went and then a few minutes later I felt okay. And those struggling through anxiety, I think my encouragement will be just make that first step. Sometimes clients that they didn't go out at all, I just say, okay, maybe get the bus. But imagine for the person that hasn't mixed with people and getting the bus, the anxiety that caused, or even let's go to the shopping center, let's go for a walk and come back. And next day you go on your own and see how you feel. But then the more exposed and more, seeing people, I think, and then they feel much better. It's like, oh yeah, I was fine. I went there, no problem at all. So I think facing that fear, I think it's really important to do, I feel.
Definitely, I'd agree totally with that. And to build it up so that the first steps you take are sort of manageable for that individual person. So some people just get to their front door, open the door, step outside, come back in, and then next day they step out and get to the front path, come back in, gradual steps, and then the next day they go to the end of the road, come back in. Next day go somewhere there's actual people, expose yourself gradually so you can handle it. So every day you build up a bit of resilience to what you've got to deal with.
It's like I feel the fear and do it anyway, because the fear is always, always, always worse than actually doing it. I've found in my experience, the fear is worse if you just don't think too much, just think about the first step of it, like you were saying, Ben, and then do it anyway. That always works for me.
Yeah.
Mhm. Another thing that I would encourage clients and everybody really is to learn to relax. It's I don't know how you do it, but for me, going to a sauna or swimming or as we said, walk, it's really important. Whatever works for you, do it because I think it really you walk away feeling it wasn't as bad, or actually, I can do this. I can face another interview, or I can go to another new place, or so even in treatment center where I worked before, holistic therapy was so important, part of their recovery program, because having relaxation or meditation or deep breathing or whatever, I think it's really important. That
It is
people
really
learn to
important.
do that.
It definitely
Yeah,
is, because when you're relaxed, you're going to have a better outcome. And even if you don't get the job, you're going to have a better outcome, as in how you cope with the
yeah,
rejection. It's going to be
yeah,
easier if you're relaxed. And
yeah.
if you're relaxed, you're going to give better answers. And so you're more likely to get the job.
Hmm.
I like to say just breathe, because that, yeah, that long breath out, that sigh is really important to calm you down, to slow down your heart rate, and I think breathing is quite a difficult. It's a good technique to break that anxiety cycle, if you like. Yeah.
And I think sometimes also with anxiety, there are some situations for a lot of people in life where their external events and things they've got going on, their circumstances are just too huge for them to think, oh, a bit of breathing and a bit of relaxation is going to change anything, because they can't change this enormous things happening for them. Do you know what I mean?
And why do you think people don't seek help around their anxiety, or clients who feel,
I don't know. I think maybe because the anxiety is the thing that stops them. They're too anxious to
yeah,
be able to take that step, or they just feel like they've got to deal with it all themselves, or they're worried about what other people are going to think of. They think they're the only person that's got it.
Perhaps isolation, that, yeah, maybe thinking I'm the only person that has this or feels like that, and no one else is going to identify, and people are going to think I'm silly. A
that's
lot of
right.
clients say to me, "Oh, I know I'm just being silly," and I'm
That's
like,
right.
"You're not being silly." I
Not at
I
all.
hate it when clients say that. I'm just being silly. You're not being silly. It's how you're feeling, and we need to just look at how you're feeling and try and change that, like in a healthy way with a healthy technique.
I find that people also don't seek support around their anxiety because they feel the stigma, people feeling judged, or would they laugh at me if, I'm telling these, that's how I'm feeling, and that's why maybe they don't even talk to their friends or family because, or, other people that they feel, a stigma around, that's why they don't seek counseling or um, going to see the GP. I think the best thing for me is to learn, if you have these symptoms we mentioned before, is just to learn a little more around even if it's depression or anxiety or any mental health, and then seek help.
Yeah, because it does help if just for talking about it, just sharing it with someone else who's going to understand you, it does help. Just that part of it really does help. And people maybe think nothing's going to help me. This is just the way I am. Um, that's another probably trap to like a thinking trap. So yeah, I think it would be beneficial to everyone to seek help and be able to talk about stuff that goes on for them.
I just put in here, just don't let yourself to make excuses to miss appointments. We find that a lot of our own clients, um, time after time, they miss appointments, and then I don't know if you're working for a statutory or a charity, then you've got your two missed appointments and gone, And my encouragement will be, uh, please continue to attend those appointments because it's really important for in the long term, and don't avoid getting the support.
Yeah, avoidance is a big part of that anxiety cycle. Thinking you're avoiding it is helping the situation. It isn't.
People again, imagine if they were going to see a doctor or they had some tests and then they are waiting for the result. How would they make them feel? That's really really difficult. Uh, until they get the results or if they have to continue a treatment and stuff. So I can understand that, maybe it will become too difficult to face and continue the support too.
When it's too difficult to face, yeah, that's an interesting state, isn't it, for people? It's too difficult to face. They just can't do it. And sometimes you do need help from another person. Sometimes the answer is to have another person who can come with you to the doctor to look at the results. If
Yeah,
you're lucky enough
yeah.
that you can have someone do things with you, that can be a source of helping you get through it when it's really tough.
Ben, what would you do if someone kept missing an appointment? How would you how would you handle that?
Um, for me, I have to to continue and respect their decisions. For me, it's about making sure that I contact them again, even if I'm going to close that client, and I will contact them again and leave the door open for them to self-refer and come back into the service again. Within our organizations, we do phone them after 3 months, even if just a follow-up call, just a check-in, and then either if they're doing really well, say, well done, you keep going, or if you still require support, you're very welcome to self-refer. So in a sense, it's easier for us to have that, where I can contact the client even if they're closed and just a check-in after 3 months.
Yeah, so that's a policy, isn't it? Really? Yeah, that's a good idea, I think. I think it's a good idea to make contact after a couple of months. Yeah. I've done it myself with sometimes with addictions when people are not ready and they keep missing appointments. And especially if they're gonna pay for the appointment in advance and then miss it, it's like, are they're not ready and they can't really keep sustaining losing money over like not coming to an appointment. So I have sometimes said, I don't think you're ready, perhaps come back a bit later in
Of
that
course.
case. But yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? It's hard, I think, especially with addiction, because it's that is the nature of clients with addiction. They are chaotic.
Of course. Even if they come for a couple of sessions and then they walk away, I believe they never forget what they learned even on those 2 sessions. And they always come back.
Absolutely. I think any kind of recovery that you do, I did have a client who did 2 or 3 rehabs and then come to me and did some work with me, and she's great now. But she kept saying like about, because I think her parents were paying for the rehabs, and so she felt very guilty about that. And um yeah, and she kept saying all that money in rehab was wasted, and but it isn't. It still goes in the stuff you learn in rehab and the stuff
Yes,
you learn in counselling. It still goes in, even if you
absolutely.
don't get it at that point. You're gonna have it in your reserve. Really, I think of it like it's in reserve.
I
Yeah.
think for them to see that is no judgment really. Even if they fail, but they can come back again. And it's like waiting with open arms, and say, of course you can try again. And as you said, Kay, when they're ready, they're ready. If they're not ready, no one is going to change, no matter how much we know. And we
Yeah,
try to say do this way, but actually it doesn't work like that.
no, no, I think you do have to be ready to change. Like with any counselling, actually, you're not going to change if you're not ready to change. Yeah,
And you have to want to, don't you?
yeah. So it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to make the changes that you've kind of defaulted to all of your life in a way.
It's the hardest part, the change, isn't it? Not knowing what that change looks like, not knowing what it feels like, not knowing how to get there. It's again fear of the unknown. It's better to stay in this uncomfortable, familiar place than it is to risk the unknown.
Definitely. Mm.
I find that when people stop using substances, and then they start working, even their physical exercise and the mental health start improving day by day by day. And it's like they're so different people. They're looking so well. They're so much more active, or they're learning or, doing courses or volunteering, and I think they feel like, oh, I was bad, but thank God I'm not in that position where I was a few months ago, and you could see how you said earlier, Kay, about which one is first. Is it addiction or is it the anxiety? And, but I think they start with the addiction when they're doing quite well, and
Yeah.
then anxiety start to kick in later, really in life, where maybe they're drinking too much or maybe losing a job or losing relationships or losing isolating, and that's maybe when mental health become worse in later stages.
But I think the opposite is also true. Like when you get teenagers that have got ADHD or autism and they're anxious or they're being bullied, the anxiety comes before the addiction.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Interesting.
loss, isn't there? I was just listening to what you were saying. There is a lot of loss, and actually losing yourself is like the main thing that you do in addiction. Loss of self, I think. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, and the substance makes up for everything else until it's the only thing you've got.
Exactly, exactly. It is how it works as well.
Have you heard of the starfish story?
No.
Is this the one
No?
about the thousands of starfish and someone says, why are you bothering? Is it that one?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
so it says one day a man was walking along the beach when he noticed a boy hurriedly picking up and gently throwing things into the ocean. And approaching the boy, he asked, "Young man, what are you doing?" The boy replied, "Throwing starfish back into the ocean." So it is up to the tide is going out, and I don't. But if I, sorry, just making it bigger, throw them back, they will die. The man laughed to himself and said, "Don't you realize that there are miles and miles of beach and hundreds of starfish, and you can't make a difference?" After listening politely, the boy bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it into the surf. And then, smiling to the man, he said, "I made a difference to this one." And I think, we all in our field, we feel proud of ourselves and proud of how much we made a difference in someone's life. And even if you hear months or years after, or somebody remembers you and comes and tells you how well they're doing, it makes us like, yes, I made a difference to this one.
Thank you, Ben. That's a lovely story, isn't
That
it?
is a nice quote, nice story as well. I hadn't heard it before.
Really lovely. Have we got another slide that we want to talk about? Or have we coming to an end? Is there anything else we wanted to cover?
No, I think we'll come to an end.
Brilliant.
I'm
Have we got
happy
anything
enough.
else we want to say? Have we got any other observations about anxiety?
Okay.
Have we?
Observations about anxiety.
Yeah.
I feel we covered it, didn't we? Like, have you, Tamsin?
I'm thinking, while I'm asking you, I'm thinking, the cogs are turning. I'm thinking about
Okay.
anxiety. It is debilitating. It's absolutely horrific for people that are suffering.
Oh, the only thing
Of course.
I think about anxiety is because it is actually very normal and we do need it. We need anxiety.
Yeah.
If we didn't have
Exactly.
anxiety, then we wouldn't see the dangers.
That's right. That is
So
very true.
we do need a certain amount of anxiety, but it's when anxiety is out of control or like you were mentioning, generalized anxiety is difficult. But yeah, I always like to think it is a normal Is it an emotion?
That's the thing, isn't it? Is it an emotion?
I don't know if it is. Gabor Mate said it's not an emotion.
Yeah, I can believe that. It's like
Interesting.
but there's a whole body experience that comes out of physical symptoms from this mental thing that goes on with anxiety. So is it a feeling? Maybe not.
Interesting.
It's a lot of feelings pushed together, isn't it? Maybe need to break them down.
No, yeah, we need to talk about this some more, but we've run out of time because we come to the end of our session time. Are you going to say
I think just to finish, I think for people that they try physical exercise, they try therapy, and things are not working, then of course medication is good. We're not diagnosing, but I think the next step then following with a GP and getting further support, even for a short time, I would very much recommend that to people.
Yeah, don't suffer in silence.
Absolutely, I'll second that.
Good. Okay, let's say goodbye to everyone. Ben, thank you ever so much for coming on. It's been wonderful
problem.
seeing you again. And
It's
if ever
really
you
good
want to
seeing
come
you
on
both.
again, you're very welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. It's nice to meet you. Yeah.
Nice meeting you too,
Oh
Kay.
my
Thank
goodness,
you,
I'm so
Tamsin.
sorry. I didn't realise. Kay, meet Ben. I didn't realise this was the first time you've met Ben, isn't it? Because you weren't here. Oh, I'm sorry. Missed that.
It's-
Made you jump straight in without having the niceties. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. But yeah, it is nice, genuinely nice to meet you, Ben. And I
Nice
heard
meeting
so
you
much
too.
about you too. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me, Tamsin.
Okay.
Let me press the stop button. Okay, so